Hey everyone, Satisfactory is finally releasing on September 10th. And today, let's talk about map starter locations. 3 hours ago, I asked you where you would start your save when you start playing on September 10th. And I'm actually shocked to see that Rocky Desert is the second highest starting location. And I don't know if it's because of my Ultimate Beginner's Guide, but I'm finally happy to see that it has some love. And stick to the end of the video where I will reveal where I am going to be starting my actual full playthrough, no mods, no cheats, to try to get all the achievements. So here's the map, and you can see the circles, they represent the starter locations. The grass hills all the way at the bottom, the Rocky Desert over here, and the Northern Forest, and then finally the Dune Desert. Let's start with the first location that most of you are going to go to, and that is the Grass Hills. Grass Hills is nice and open and it's pretty, and I think a lot of people will gravitate towards it, but I find it a little bit misleading, and that is because of all the impure nodes. You'll see here that most of your nodes at the beginning are all impure nodes and normal nodes. Now there is a lot of nodes, and you put them together, you can have just as much resources as anywhere else, but you do have to travel quite a bit. So if I were going to use the Grass Hills as my starter area, I would settle in the default location, which is around here, and then I would expand towards the east to catch the new quartz nodes, and then head towards the coal over here, and then eventually settle my oil, and you're good to go for a while. You do have access to a Caterium node over here, or you can get the one that is all the way down here if you're in the Grass Hills. Let's talk about your second favorite spot, and that is the Rocky Desert. Now, I love the Rocky Desert, and the Rocky Desert, I started my Ultimate Beginner's Guide on here, and whether I continue that series or I start fresh, I will most likely still pick the Rocky Desert. It's even stronger now, mainly because they've added these 4 coal nodes. This wasn't here before, and these are gonna be amazing to get into the coal power because you're not that far away. But what this allows you to do is grab these ones for steel, or vice versa. You could do these ones for steel and these ones for coal. But before we added these ones, I used to utilize these guys for steel. But that was a pain because you had to bring the nodes down and settle your steel factory somewhere around here. And that was what was happening in UBG6. But I decided to scrap that because of all the changes coming to the Rocky Desert. You do have access to an easy Caterium node here, which is great. But the downside to Rocky Desert, especially now, is the quartz. We used to have access to 2 pure quartz nodes right here, which was a natural progression after we got our coal generator set up. But now you have to go get these guys. And the problem with these is they are actually underground and they're not easy to get to. There's only really one way to go there, and that is coming over here. You have to make your way around here towards the coast, and then there's an entrance, and then you can travel the underground full of spiders, I might add, and eventually you'll get to all the 3 quartz nodes and the SAM ore, which is going to be, again, very key for your progression in the full release. There's another entrance on this side, but the entrance here is blocked off by rocks, and you can't go through it until you've unlocked the Nautilus to blow up the rocks. And for that, you'll need sulfur, and you'll need to research down the sulfur tree in the MAM. So the Rocky Desert is still a very solid starter, and I would argue is probably the best for beginners still. It's very open, and it's easy to get to the stuff outside of the quartz. I definitely prefer and recommend it over the Grass Hills. Before we talked about the Northern Forest, I'm going to talk about the Dune Desert. Now, the Dune Desert still has its advantages in the fact that it has all the ore you will ever want or need to a certain extent. You have an easy access to coal, and you got a lot of clusters of coal all the way around here. And then you can either, when you want to transition to oil, and when you want to transition to oil, you can head on over here, or you can head over here. You do have to travel a lot more in the Dune Desert, but it's wide open spaces allow for bigger factory builds, which depending on your taste might be what you want. Finally, we have the Northern Forest. And the fun thing about the Northern Forest is how many pure nodes you get crammed right into the starter area. You have a ton of iron and a bunch of limestone. Even though you only have the one copper node, it's going to be more than enough for a long time. You do have a Caterium node nearby, but the problem with that one is it does have a boulder on it, which you have to break before you can actually mine it. But you could do what I like to do and just dump like 10 portable miners on there, and just every once in a while just go grab all the ore and then slap them in a storage area, and you'll be good. You don't need to worry about it until later. For this release, they've added 2 quartz nodes though, and these are gonna be massive. They used to be all the way over here, and getting there and setting logistics was doable, but now they're even closer, and you can get them to your starter base really easily, and more importantly, very early. It's always good to get quartz early, because then you can start doing your windows and other things you might need quartz for. Now, expanding from there, you have a few options. You can head over here for the coal nodes for your coal power and your steel. Or you could head over here and do the same thing. And you could head over here for your coal power and head over here for your steel, which is what I typically do when I'm in the Northern Forest. And then when it comes to oil, you can just head on over here for your oil, or you can head to the top and utilize all these nodes for oil. You have the option, and that's what's key about Northern Forest is its central location, and that's its main strength. As for SAM ore over here, you can get one right here. So if you expand to this area for your coal or your steel, you're not that far away from SAM ore, which could be useful. And same thing over here. The main reason the Northern Forest is going to be the best place to start at release is the addition of the input belt to the biomass generator. That's going to be huge at the beginning. And setting up an automatic biomass setup as early as you can is going to be a key factor, and it's going to be easy to do in the Northern Forest, because all you're going to have to do every maybe once or twice is just go around, cut down a whole bunch of trees, take 5 minutes to do that, and then you put it into your storage bin and you let everything else be taken care of automatically, which is going to be awesome. This Northern Forest is full of trees, and you just don't have to worry about it. So those are the starter areas. If we were to give you a ranking for beginners and ranking for overall, I would say that the Rocky Desert is probably more beginner friendly than the Grass Hills. So this would be a 1, a 2, and I would put Northern Forest as a 3 and the Dune Desert 4 for beginner friendliness. For overall, I would do Northern Forest. Then I would probably, as crazy as this sounds, say the Rocky Desert, and then the Dune Desert and the Grass Hills. Whichever one you pick, I wish you the best, and I hope you have a really good fun exploring Satisfactory 1.0. I know I will. I'll most likely start streaming a lot more, and I will most likely stream on release day here and on Twitch. So come and say hi if you have the time.